Hello everyone, it's me, Blake Church, and today I'm gonna give you guys my honest opinion about the internet show, RWBY. I'm going to be talking about how I feel about the show, a little bit about the community, how it's doing so far, stuff like that for the most part. But I won't go over everything about, let's say, the community or the writing or something. I feel like that takes a whole entire video on its own. So I'll touch upon it and such, but I won't go too in depth about it. So I first got introduced into RWBY by a college mate in college. I did know about Monty Um's work, about his Metroid vs. Halo, that Gun Fu one, and Dead Fantasy, which I was mostly interested in. And at the time, I was like, why isn't Monty continuing his Dead Fantasy series? And then after my friends showed me RWBY and everything, and I was like, oh, he's working with Rooster Teeth. He's working on RWBY and Red vs. Blue. I didn't know that. Yeah, I've kind of felt kind of dumb at that time. So with him and in the future some other college classmates, I watched Volume 1, Volume 2, and eventually during college I watched all of Volume 3. During this time I did watch Jake the One Man Band a lot, and I don't know if you guys remember him or not. I do. And I used to be a part of a Facebook group when it was still around called Team Theory. Now you can't find it anymore because it was removed because of some inside drama. I won't go too much into that, but just let you know it's not there anymore. Also, I'll just come out and say it. I am the one that posted on Team Theory about the Shane letter. Or was it Sean? I forget, I'm sorry. That's how Jake the One Man Band knew about it. Eventually, when I was looking at theories and whatnot for RWBY, I stumbled across what would be my most favorite RWBY tuber content creators, Celtic Phoenix Production, and the rest of the gang, which led me to find some other people as well. And through watching their videos, I come to understand the writing and such and storytelling a lot better. Also, do people still think that they don't like the show because they do care about it? I don't know. Anyway, with how I got into the show and whatnot out of the way, I'm going to now discuss my thoughts on it. One last thing I want to mention is that I recognize Monty Oom as a good animator. Not that much as a story writer, but as an animator. I do not think he has got tier writing like some people think that he does, but don't let that rub you the wrong way. So, the world itself, Remnant, the Grim, the Moon. I like that. I think that the world building by itself is either decent or good. I like to say it's good because I do like that. Like a bunch of monsters roaming around. You got these students who are trying to become like elite soldiers basically. Trying to fight them off, protect the people, try to bring justice, and some of them are corrupt and whatnot. There is room for good storytelling. However, I do not think the show does a good job in the story department. But before we get to that, I want to talk about the animation of it. I do like the new animation that they are using. I think it looks cool. They handle it with combat and such is a different story. I'll get to that in a bit. Now, I want to get to the writing part of RWBY. Oh, here we go. So, the writing, it's not great, to say at the very least. It's not good. The major inconsistencies I see with the writing, which I'm trying not to avoid on my Kingdom Hearts fanfiction, which I should really work on that. I have not worked on that. But at any rate, when I look at RWBY and when I see other shows that are good, subjectively good, I see that the show has a problem with they do not do a good job on character development. For example, Weiss in Volume 7, she is the best out of the main four in my opinion, but they just rushed her arc. Like, oh, it just so happens that Her mother has evidence proving that Jock is in a line with Watts, who's with Salem. They have evidence presented to the council. Jock gets fired and goes to jail. Episodes later, so from watching it all, it just felt like it was rushed. I think they had time to try and do a better job on Weiss's arc ending. And also, political stuff was happening in Volume 7. Weiss, she is from Atlas. You would think that she would have a say in the political stuff because it's her home kingdom. It's where she lived. It's where she grows up. You'll think that she'll be outspoken and such and have stuff to say about it. But no, we barely hardly get anything like that at all. She really doesn't interact with the political stuff that goes on in the volume. It's her hometown, well, kingdom. She's a full-fledged huntress. She is a Snee, her father Jock's Snee, who is running for a council position, and she has nothing to say about it. Like, I guess she's more passive, but that's just really too passive. Like, this is a kingdom. Come on. At least make her say or do something about the political stuff. It's like she doesn't even care. And let's go to Yang. Yang and Blake. So Yang to me and to other people seems like she cares more about Blake than her own blood-related sister. Even though she loves her, she interacts with Blake more than RWBY. Like I don't know how many times Yang has had a good or helpful conversation with RWBY, but Yang seems to care more about Blake than RWBY. That's what I see. And the Bumblebee thing is its own pile of mess within the show and with the community. Tackle the community later on. And Blake, I don't really know. Like, what is there for her to do? They're not trying to give her anything else besides fondness discrimination. But we really haven't seen any of the Snee family really do any racist stuff. Like, if you're gonna call Jock racist, then why did he hire Faunus? He hired a Faunus with trusted personal secret intel, and people say he doesn't like the Faunus, he's racist towards them, but why would he trust a Faunus with that sort of intel? Get him locked up in prison, which eventually did happen. If he was racist, you would think he would trust a human, not a Faunus, with this information. That's all I'm saying. It makes logical sense. RWBY, she's something else. She, out of all the main characters I have seen in all anime-like shows, she has had the least character development I've ever seen. Now granted, she does have some, but not a whole lot. Like when RWBY was alone with Penny in Volume 7, we could have had some RWBY and Pennywise, but RWBY, I don't know, it just seemed like she didn't want her there or something. I don't know, I can't really put my finger on it. Also, her reaction to Penny being alive, she's like, "Oh, Penny, how you doing?" or something like that. It's like, she's not shocked or stunned, or just have a really shocked depression on her face. Her dead friend that she thought was dead is alive. Oh, if that happened, I'd be shocked as hell. You could say, oh, but she knew Penny was a robot. Yeah, but she didn't know how she was created. She knew that she was a robot with a soul, but she had no idea how they made her. So therefore, RWBY could not predicted Penny would eventually come back alive. I think you understand where I'm coming from with the characters, but now we're gonna move on to the timeline stuff of RWBY. All I have to say for the timeline is if you're not going to have the characters say how long it has been since blah blah blah, put timestamps on how much time passed. So what if we have to read it? It's better than not knowing how much time has passed. You could be like, oh, Cinema Sense, he makes fun when we have to read. But for the show, I feel like it would generally be needed at this point. Cause I know people who do reactions and stuff to it. Sometimes they get confused with the timeline, and I get confused. I know other people who don't do reactions also kind of get confused about the timeline as well, and that shouldn't be a problem, but it is, in my opinion. Could talk more about the writing, but I'm not going to bother. So I'm going to talk about the fighting instead. Combat is one of the primary reasons why I watch the show. One of them. And all I gotta say is, in Volume 7, wow, that Watch vs. Ironwood fight was pretty good. Best one of the whole entire volume. Loved it. For once, we had an actual gun v gun fight, and all the other fights were just guns and melee weapons, or just melee weapons. Actually, did we have a pure melee weapon fight? Oh yeah, we did. We had one in Volume 1 where John was facing against God, and yeah, I remember. I mean, it's nice to see guns in the show get appreciation when most of the damage dealt to major characters is mostly by melee attacks. I'm not counting fodder like the Grimm or anything, I'm talking about actual important characters. Yes, I believe most Grimm are fighters, but dang, I do like some of the newer designs with them though. Very nice design. I like those. And who can forget the whale at the end of Volume 7? Absolutely no one. I will call the whale Philip, by the way. I'm calling him Philip. For Philip the whale. Yes, I'm taking Celtic Phoenix Protection side on calling him Philip. Does he still call him Philip? I don't know. I guess so, maybe? Anyway, back to the fighting. If you want to know what was my least favorite fight in Volume 7, I guess Clover versus Tyrion versus Crow. That wasn't bad luck on Crow's part, that was just him being stupid. You should know that Tyrion is insane, psycho, and tried to kill him with poison, and he sides with him anyways. Like, what the heck? The showcase that they did against that one Grimm that they did against Guy Grimm, that fight I did like. I think that RWBY should actually be more about the fighting than the story like it was back when Monty was around, to be honest with you. One of the reasons why I got into RWBY was because I liked the fighting and I liked Monty's work, and I know he's not here anymore. You're good at, and some not so good. It happens. That's just life for you though. Contrary to popular opinion, I actually like the food fight. Well, contrary to Credit's opinions, maybe, I should say. I understand both sides of the arguments, but to me it was funny. It was funny. Why was that bread, though, the food so stale and hard? Like, did they make like the food hard with aura or something? Like, I wanna know why. Or is there food that's stale? Like, and hard? If so, I'm like, wow, I doubt that. Oh well, it was for fun anyways. The post-Volume 3 fight that I also liked. Tyrion versus Ranger. I did like that fight because that was a wake-up call for Ranger that Salem's people, they ain't that easy to take down. Although nowadays it's... But at any rate, I just loved how Crow just straight up punched Tyrion in the face. Don't blame me for Tyrion rolling ones when it came to Crow punching him in the face. Don't blame me, alright? He just did. D&D reference right there. Weapons are cool. Now for the community part. So, when it comes to people making OCs, besides the bang bang DOC thing that happens in multiple fandoms, I like it. I really never seen any OC drama, really, to be honest with you guys. So they're okay. It's okay. The only real problem I see with the OCs is that so many people make wolf OCs, I guess. I mean, I never really made a wolf OCs. I don't. If you're making one, okay, but that's the only real big issue I see. And inappropriate stuff that happens in OC with the Bang Bang, well, that's not just RWBY, that's pretty much what happens with a lot of OCs and other fandoms. Probably. If it happens in one fandom, why can't it happen to other fandoms as well? Doing OCs is actually one of the things that I do like about RWBY. Now we're gonna go into the toxic parts of the RWBY fandom. Oh boy. All I want to say is that not everybody in the fandom is bad. That is the first thing I want to get across. Most of the toxicity comes from shippers. Not all shippers are bad. And there is a hate them as well. Are the toxic shippers and hate them the same thing? I don't think so. Now then, as far as ships go, I'm okay with ships. Even if they don't make canon sense, I'm okay. Like with Bumblebee. I'm okay with Bumblebee as a ship, but there are bad Bumblebee shippers out there that do and say bad things. I am not going to go into too much detail because I don't want to crush any eggs. Because I'm walking on eggshells just talking about it, just bringing it up. The hate them has also done bad things as well, which I'm not going to name again because I don't want to bring up any bad old memories and whatnot. But past that, but do take into consideration that because of the bad shippers and the hate them, this is what drives people away from the show and make them not like it. The prime reason, just one of them. Now something bad happened this year because of the hate them. Not gonna bring it up. Just to let you know, these bad people do make people quit the show and not want to get into the show. I'm gonna talk about the critics now. You probably guessed I might be a critic of the show, and I am. Good reason though, cause I want the show to get better. I know it has potential. I know we're on 7 volumes in, gonna go on the 8th, but just want the show to get better for everybody. There are the good critics, they are the bad ones. There are critics out there that criticize the show like me who wanted to get better and such. And there are the critics that just don't like it. Does that mean that they're bad critics? No. Bad critics are more of an opinion type thing. It depends on you, so I really can't tell you. Bad and who are the good ones. Well, I could tell you some good ones, but that'll be my opinion. I already brought them up a couple times during this video. If you love, like, dislike, hate the show, well, more power to you. I'm not gonna try to convince you to hate or dislike or like the show. It's up to you. Just giving you my opinion on it. Well, that's gonna be it, everybody. If you liked the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, so you know when I upload a video. I'll go live streaming on my channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when I am doing it as well. And I also upload stuff that I do on Twitch on here too as well. And with that being said, have a nice day.